Okay, so SpongeBob is always happy. And I don't mean like most of the time happy. I mean always. Every single episode. It doesn't matter what happens. He gets humiliated. He's smiling. Exploited. He's laughing.
Get back to work!
Rejected by literally everyone, he'll apologize and bounce right back. Which is weird, right? Because what if he's not happy because everything's great? What if he's happy because that's literally the only option he's got? Stick with me on this, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And no, this isn't some wholesome, childlike innocence thing. It's way darker. So let's start here. SpongeBob's reactions to things aren't normal, like even by cartoon logic. Even in a show where fish light campfires underwater and nobody questions it. His emotional responses are just extreme. Someone insults him, he laughs. Uses him, he says thanks. Rejects him, he apologizes to them. Let me give you examples, because this pattern, it shows up everywhere. In Fools in April, Squidward pranks him in front of the whole restaurant. It's cruel. It's calculated.
April Fools, you little sausage!
And it's designed to embarrass him publicly. And SpongeBob's reaction? He doesn't laugh it off. He breaks down crying, runs out of the restaurant in tears while everyone calls Squidward a jerk. Normal response? Yeah, that's pretty normal actually. But here's the thing. He comes back. Always comes back. No matter how cruel Squidward gets, SpongeBob keeps trying. Or what about Employee of the Month and that plastic trophy?
Atta boy, SpongeBob! There's no clear-cut winner.
That's his entire identity wrapped up in cheap plastic. Take it away and watch him spiral. He's fighting Squidward for it, like it's genuinely life or death, and Squidward doesn't even care. It's not competition, it's desperation. In jellyfishing, Squidward makes it super clear that he hates SpongeBob, like openly resents him.
Do you want to come with us?
Really? Jellyfishing with you guys?
And SpongeBob just keeps trying. He keeps pushing and takes whatever Squidward dishes out because, I guess, any connection's better than none? He has no boundaries, just an acceptance of whatever he gets. But okay, here's the one that really got me. In pizza delivery, the customer screams at him and slams the door in his face. And SpongeBob doesn't even blame the guy. He blames himself. And he cries because he forgot the drink. Now, the customer did order it, but Mr. Krabs hung up before hearing that part. So it wasn't even SpongeBob's fault. But he takes the blame anyway. He turns the abuse inward and somehow makes it his fault. Do you see the pattern yet? Every time someone hurts him, he finds a way to make it about his failure, not their cruelty. His failure. Most people would snap, punch a door, or at least get angry for like 5 seconds, but SpongeBob doesn't. He just gets more positive. He cranks it up even higher. Like, if he's just happy enough, maybe he'll stop hurting. Which is when you start to think, wait, something's seriously off here. There's this little thing in psychology called emotional masking. It's basically when you put on a socially acceptable emotion to avoid dealing with the real stuff that is happening underneath. The mask isn't fake, exactly. It's more like protection or survival, a way to cope when the truth's just too painful. SpongeBob doesn't wear the mask sometimes. He is the mask, like fully. Just watch how he handles emotion. He doesn't process sadness. He doesn't sit with anger or disappointment or anything negative. He just redirects it. Everything gets turned into something acceptable. Sad? He'll turn it into enthusiasm. Angry? he'll rewrite it as an apology. Only, he smothers it with hyperactive energy. So the system works. It keeps him functional until it doesn't. Because when the mask fully cracks and he can't hold it together anymore, the collapse is brutal. In Have You Seen This Snail, Gary leaves, just slides away. And SpongeBob doesn't just get sad, he completely shuts down.
Gary! Ah!
He stops eating, stops taking care of himself, just lies on the floor, completely shut down, unable to function. His whole world ended. Because his identity was built on that whole happiness structure, right? Remove the structure and everything collapses. There's nothing else holding him up. Or in Gone, everyone in Bikini Bottom disappears, just vanishes.
Where did everybody go?
And he's completely alone. And without an audience to be happy for, he goes full manic, starts living out everyone else's lives for them, playing Squidward's clarinet, pretending to be Mr. Krabs, making meat puppets of his friends.
What's shown up, SpongeBob?
Good morning, class. Can anyone tell me the first thing you do when driving a boat?
Has conversations with buildings, and makes up imaginary friends. His happiness only works when there's someone watching, when there's a purpose. Take away the audience, and the whole thing falls apart. So here's what hit me for 6. Without happiness, SpongeBob's literally got nothing else. No backup and no other way to cope. He has no alternative for existing in a world that hurts him constantly. So that wasn't grief and Have You Seen This Snail? That was his only survival strategy completely failing. Okay, now let's watch this part, because this is where it gets really dark. Bikini Bottom doesn't just tolerate SpongeBob's whole happiness thing. It profits from it, like actively. Mr. Krabs is the obvious one, right? He pays him basically nothing, works him insane hours, and manipulates his emotional investments constantly. And SpongeBob thanks him for it. He calls him a genius and defends him. In Squeaky Boots, Mr. Krabs guilt-trips SpongeBob into buying some boots he couldn't sell, so he makes money off SpongeBob's inability to say no. Then gets annoyed when SpongeBob's too happy about them. He exploits the trait, then resents it, which is totally screwed up.
I gotta go to my office!
In Squid's Day Off, SpongeBob's left alone at the register while Squidward takes the day off. And what does SpongeBob do?
The cash register. Wow!
He just waits there, calmly, patiently. Meanwhile, Squidward's the one having a paranoid breakdown, imagining SpongeBob destroying everything. But SpongeBob, he just stands there, ready to work. That's somehow even sadder. He's internalized it so deeply. His value equals his productivity. His worth equals his usefulness. He doesn't need any external pressure because he does it to himself. In fear of a Krabby Patty, Mr. Krabs keeps the Krusty Krab open 24 hours straight. SpongeBob works until he hallucinates and has nightmares about Krabby Patties with faces. His mind's literally breaking. And even then, he feels guilty about needing help. That's not dedication, that's conditioning. The more he gives, the more they take. And he just never stops giving. Customers will abuse him constantly with ridiculous demands and complaints about nothing. They'll treat him like garbage, and he responds with pure enthusiasm every time. His friends will do it too. Patrick knows SpongeBob will forgive him anything. It doesn't matter how selfish he is. Sandy counts entirely on his support, and Squidward knows there are 0 consequences. The whole system runs on SpongeBob not having any boundaries. And here's the tragic part. Every time SpongeBob swallows the pain and keeps smiling, people will praise him. He's the perfect employee, my best friend. He's so positive. He's such an inspiration. But the second he stops smiling, even for just a split second, he's a problem, ungrateful, difficult. He's not himself because his pain only matters when it's inconvenient for other people. Happiness isn't who SpongeBob is. It's what SpongeBob trades for acceptance. And look, here's where it gets really messed up. Over time, happiness stops being something that SpongeBob feels. It just becomes something he is, something he can't separate from anymore. His whole identity wraps around it so tightly that there's no SpongeBob underneath, just the performance. If he's not happy, who is he? What's the point of him? So the logic becomes simple. No happiness equals no value to Mr. Krabs, which equals not lovable, which in turn equals not wanted. In Gone, it totally hits different when you can see it like this. Everyone vanishes. He's completely alone, and he literally doesn't know how to exist that way. His happiness was always performed for others. It required an audience, and without people watching, the system just collapses. SpongeBob gets manic, desperate, searches for someone, anyone, to validate him through his cheerfulness. He can't step outside the role, and he can't be alone with himself. It just doesn't work. And the worst part of all, he probably doesn't even know it's happening because the conditioning is so deep and so baked in that questioning it would feel like questioning reality. So SpongeBob genuinely thinks this is just who he is, that happiness is authentic and not the armor he has built. That's not optimism, that's identity built on conditioning. Now, let me be clear, SpongeBob's not stupid, not clueless, and not too innocent to get it, because he's trained to smile through the pain, absorb all damage, to turn hurt into enthusiasm, exploitation into gratitude, and rejection into apology. The training is so effective, he doesn't see it as training because it's just reality to him. And here's the real tragedy. It works because SpongeBob survives. He keeps his job and his friends. He keeps his place. But surviving isn't living, you know. Functioning isn't thriving. SpongeBob pays for survival with honesty. He buys acceptance by never being fully seen, never admitting pain, by never demanding better and setting clear boundaries. He's learned that his pain doesn't matter unless it messes with someone else's happiness. The system works perfectly for everyone except SpongeBob. So maybe SpongeBob's not happy because his life is good. Maybe he's happy because it's the only way he's allowed to stay. His laughter is armor, his enthusiasm is survival, and his optimism is the price of belonging, which I think makes him one of the saddest characters on TV, honestly, because you can't see it on the surface. The sadness is buried under all that joy that everyone depends on. Just think about that the next time you watch him smile through something that should break him. The next time he apologizes for being hurt. The next time he bounces back instantly. Because once you see it, you can't go back. If this changed SpongeBob for you, then smash a like and hit subscribe, because we've got more deep SpongeBob dives coming that'll mess with your head. Drop a comment and tell me, is this inspiring or heartbreaking? Because I honestly still don't know.